I got cut off on the other video. I hit a button on accident. But yeah, when I started learning this was spiritual was that USPS job where were truly they couldn't hide their agitation. They couldn't hide it away. He's our manager as well, and he's to get field managers to come along and fake a group community conversation just to feel important. And they used to come out the room and all eye me down and evil. It was so sinister working that in that place. But yeah, whenever I used to point the cross up, I used to point it up at them. It had an effect on these people. Like, okay, now I know who's behind this. This is very sinister what I'm dealing with. This is not that superficial hatred and jealousy, and it's not superficial about this. There's nothing human naturing about this. And through that day forward, um, I left that job. They had somebody to come in, and there was no way they can gaslight me because I had evidence. I had evidence of the guy following me around. I had that. He missed that. I had guys following me at the workplace. This lady was a manager, and she was following me around. Um, Whenever I walk or something like that, I would just see her behind me. Sometimes I didn't notice. Do you know how crazy and sinister this sounds? Sounds like I'm listing a movie out of a sci-fi thriller. Yeah, and I can admit that this sounds crazy, but this is the reason that I left that job and I no longer have employment. No matter how much they paid me, $1,000, 2,000 for to do that, I left. No amount of money is worth their behavior, especially you're on a contract cleaning for doing service for them. Yeah. So I left, and I told my employer that as well. There's no amount of money for me to keep dealing with that every day. So he was trying to do me a raise, all that. I didn't accept it. Yeah, I did not accept it. I just shake the dust off my feet when I left there for more opportunities. And it's just after that made me realize, okay, I know what's going on. And that's when I stood firmly in the power of Christ. Yeah. But what else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, when I the cross thing was unique and very interesting. That was the day. That was the day, and I didn't bother to. I didn't report that whole thing to the EEOC, and well, okay, I'm gonna get back to the new employee. When I had to train him, the guy he didn't even want to be trained, so I didn't bother to force myself to train the guy that works there. But the fa- my the sick part about it is my employer is a narcissist, so he doesn't care. So when I left, that I no longer have to work there, but I had to train this new guy, and the new guy left, and the manager they had me working the whole shift. That was very dirty. That was very dirty and very sick. I told him that I'm no longer working for this place, the Pacific place. There's no way. I told him that if I'm keep working there, I will call the police on them. Stalking itself is illegal in the state of Georgia, and that's what they're doing. It's lawlessness, and the fact that I will call the police if they do it again, and that will cut me away from them. And the fact that they made adjustment on their behavior, they didn't look at they didn't look at me. You know how sick that is. Telling someone don't look at him, do not look at him. Make that like he don't exist. Type of talking. They was gossiping because the next day that happened, they was silent, but there was, I just knew how sinister even did, even though they were been told to stop what they're doing, they still did it anyway. But in more control, I had to watch my behavior type of way, and I shed my light on that, and there was in that room just there's urging, inching not to just stare at me minutes. That's how I know it's calculated because they can turn it on and off, and they have like a burning urge to disrespect you. They have a burning urge to keep doing their iniquity. I'm telling you, it's like a when you see them trying to fight it off, it looks so eerie. It's so eerie. Oh, I got like they're fighting with themselves. They're fighting with themselves about something. But and this one I knew was when it was June 19th. It was June 19th that day. Instead of stalking me on foot, the other guy would get his truck and try to stalk me and harass me while I'm taking out the trash. He would get in his truck, go outside, and try to do vehicular stalking, like he's like trying to intimidate you and put you in a state of uneasiness and flight or fight mode whenever you see a car, not trying to turn, or basically in my other video when you seen when those cars start doing that, they're just tracking your movement, trying to pushing away, put this fault is making you feel like you're targeted and watched. And that's what he was doing with his truck out there, doing another sinister tactics. And the fact that my employer just let me work there anyways, and the guy I was training left, and I had to do all the work. I did it, didn't complain or nothing. And I know it was wrong. It was so wrong. But after that, I didn't return back to that place. That place was so dark. So dark. And it's worse when you see Christians. This Christian lady, she was the only one pretending to like me there. And that's the thing. But she was secretly targeting me, convert narcissist. But I appreciate her getting me supplies whenever I asked immediately. I appreciate her for listening to me, even though she was a part of it, in action wise. But she always made sure to get what I needed to continue to do my job. She had her time when she was participating. But these Christians, if you're a real Christian, you should know who's really with Father. I'm not even a Christian. A lot of Christians I encounter are the ones that, they blow up. They snap at me. They're the ones, they target me the most. These Christians. It's not like you're flawed or in need of a savior or you're imperfect. No, you're straight up the devil projecting who they are, wolves in sheep's clothing. Because they hate the true believers, disciples. But I just want to share this video, a little part 2, the other video cut off. But that's when I knew this is not a flesh and blood battle. This is much more deeper. And a lot of Christians talking about all this type of stuff. If you're not going through it, if they're not going through it, then you can't have it. It's the childish mindset. But Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And to the end.